Grab a chair.
Chase, do you have a... we don't have the... coffee? We don't have the camera set up.
Do you have a USB wall plug-in thing?
There's two over there.
Thank you, sir.
What's that?
Are you gonna set the cameras up, or are we just
Gonna use
run
this.
raw?
Gonna
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You got a coffee?
Wait,
I got coffee. There's coffee over there.
that's good. I'm drinking tea.
Chase, where are the USB
Iced
ones?
tea.
The USB ones?
Yeah.
Oh.
USB.
Yeah, I got you over here. You can plug into the computer.
A solidly healthy lunch.
I don't want some sour.
Just
Same. Are these already recording?
Hi.
Ow.
Hi. And welcome. Hi.
It's a chameleon on a flower.
Hi, and welcome to BakaTaka
You hit my
Season
elbow.
7, Episode 3. I am your host, Left Boy.
I'm the host, dude. And I'm George. And in the middle,
Where are our normal mics?
I like this.
can you just say your name?
Chase never actually intended to do a BakaTaka today. He's like, oh, people are here. Do things, monkeys.
I'm just so sleepy.
it's written on the schedule, sir.
Sense for my entertainment.
That's not fair. We haven't seen the schedule.
I'm sleep deprived too.
In the middle is Erik.
I did not say my name.
Yeah, I prompted you to, and you ignored me.
Appreciate you.
And then we have Aaron on the far end.
I didn't even get a chance. I was gonna say my name.
Shut up. You said left boy, and then you
So
tried
what-
to steal my job.
What are we actually doing here, Chase?
Yeah, what
'Cause
is-
this is like a half-ass setup. So.
Yeah, this is a BakaTaka
Yeah, we only got
original.
one camera, and I'm not even in the frame of this.
it's all on.
No,
me.
I'm not.
Lean in.
Oh,
that's
cool.
true, because
Oh, no,
I was
it's a
like,
square,
I can't
yeah.
even see myself. What?
This is impromptu.
How do we
You're
know that we're getting
impromptu.
good recordings through these microphones?
Yeah, you did. You're like, get over here. I want to talk about Bullet Mountain, fiery flames.
He's tested
No,
them.
I said that's what we can talk about.
Well, start talking.
So, George, you read a book.
I did read a book.
Eric hates books. Unless they're 30K.
It's ironic because if anyone of us three would be considered hating books, it would definitely be me. But I've been making an effort to read more. But
that's
you,
just his heritage, though.
You gave me probably over a year ago
3 books.
No,
I gave you 3 at the same time. I gave you
me-
Baltimore.
You gave me Baltimore, which is a graphic novel. Okay,
You can read.
not a real book.
You can read.
Yeah, I did. I read that too.
And it's pretty themed with the other one.
It is. It's definitely eldritch horror.
Yeah.
It's pretty
And then I
cool.
gave you At the Mountains of Madness
Yep.
and the
H.P. Lovecraft.
and the Alchemist.
I have not touched that yet. What's going? What did I miss? What's going on over there?
Keep talking.
I think Eric mouthed something lewd at his brother.
I did not.
I did not.
Check the tapes.
I did not.
Check the tapes.
Check the tapes.
We've got it on video. But yeah, so I finished Baltimore. That one took a while,
I've
just
been to
because
Baltimore.
I'm. Shut up.
It's very.
Shut up, Eric.
It's a very big.
You're not contributing
undertaking.
anything right now.
We're talking about something that I can't contribute to, so I'm just gonna let you guys go.
We're talking about books. You know books.
Not those books.
Oh well.
Hey, you want to talk about 30K?
So
You
much.
want to talk about some Lexington
I'm not,
Hamilton?
I'm not gonna talk about those because you guys don't know anything about them.
I like
I watched
learning
a
about
few videos.
30K. Warhammer? Or am I
George,
so dumb?
you don't even know about the horse heresy, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, I read At the Mountains of Madness,
Mm-hmm.
and I can say it's a good book.
It's a really good book.
It's like. Did we get that on the tape? It needs to be in the episode, and I don't want you to just insert it. I want you to just zoom in
Chase is
on
recording
his
us.
phone.
I'm gonna say we just need the camera to like.
No, there was a solid 30 seconds where I just looked like death. Chase has it.
I feel like I still look like death.
Your eyes do kind of look bloodshot.
I feel like
How-
glazed over.
How late were you up last night?
I got home at 3:45 because I went clubbing in DC.
Again?
Yeah. It only ever happens accidentally.
This is why you don't have money.
First of all,
Or friends.
actually, just to be clear, I spent no money last night.
That's crazy. How'd that happen?
There was no cover charge, and someone else bought me a shot. So
You only did one shot.
yeah.
I
It's
can't say what I
expensive in
can't
DC.
say what I wanted to say, but I think we all know what I want to say.
Pussy.
That's what I wanted to say.
I didn't need alcohol to have a good time.
Contributing to the team.
I was hoping that's what you wanted to say.
Yeah, that's what we all wanted to say.
Cool. So yeah, at the Mountains of Madness. great. I found it funny because I mean I don't want to just go into the whole book. I mean it's a great story. It's like this. Shoot, I always forget. Is it Arctic or Antarctic? I think it's Antarctic.
Antarctica. Arctic is the north. Antarctica is the south.
I'm not
Don't
asking
sound
which is.
so smug about
I'm
it.
not asking which is which. I
Well,
just couldn't
only-
remember which one they went to.
Only one's
dumbass.
a continent.
Aren't they both?
No, Arctic is just
Arctic
a
is not a
ring.
continent, but I don't know what that has to do with me
You
not
can't-
remembering.
Is the Arctic just a region then?
The Arctic's a
Yeah,
the
the
Arctic's
Arctic
a
is a
region
region.
found in the north, and there is no land mass up there. There's only like ice and like water. And then the south, there's actually land underneath
Is there
ice.
no landmass in the Arctic?
There might be like small, tiny islands, but there isn't.
Yeah.
There isn't like a
That's
country underneath. Like the Antarctica is
Its own
an actual place.
There are islands up there.
No, there are, but they're
Because
not.
Russia wants control of islands up there.
Russia wants control of islands.
Yeah, but they're
everywhere.
like ice islands. They'll fall apart eventually.
It's kind of like
we're global warming.
Kind of like what Dubai's doing with the sand.
How much
yeah.
can someone
They're
fact
actually-
check
yeah.
how much of the Arctic belongs to which continents?
Well, Canada holds a lot.
Or is it
of
just considered more of like an international
Well,
waters thing? Even
no,
though it's ice.
No, because I know Denmark owns part of it too.
Canada
Okay, so
owns
Europe?
a decent bit of it.
Who?
Canada.
Okay, so
I mean,
North America.
And Russia, which is
How much does Africa
It is
have?
part of Canada, Denmark,
It is part of Canada, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, Russia, Sweden, and the United States via Alaska.
Okay.
So I was mostly right.
So Alaska actually does dip into the Arctic Circle?
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know it. I
Yeah.
guess I didn't just assume that it went that
yeah,
high.
it does.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I mean, very
I apologize
very
for
north
not
Alaska is like no man's land. Yeah.
Most of Greenland is in the Arctic Circle, 70-some% of it, which is owned by Denmark.
Yeah. And it's just Arctic Circle because there's no like body up there that is like a continent like the South.
It's called
Wait,
an Arctic
Greenland is
Circle
owned
because it's
by
literally just a circle at the top of the sphere saying,
What about
Yeah,
this?
but like
circles
Antarctica.
Did you just say Greenland is
Technically-
owned by Denmark?
It is. Remember
It
the whole
is?
meme when Trump wanted to buy Greenland?
I don't know. That was a
I
thing.
don't remember that meme.
He wanted to buy Greenland.
I don't know.
Am I making this up?
Look, I don't
Okay.
I don't blame him. I missed that one.
Yeah, we all need all that geothermal energy.
I didn't realize Greenland. Wait, but Greenland is its own country,
Yeah. So Australia is its own country.
and
It's still
Denmark
Queen-
owns it.
Yeah.
kind of like Canada. It's its own country, but the Queen
Okay.
really...
Okay, I get that.
Australia is
okay,
the same thing.
That
But
makes more sense.
Canada's not a dominion anymore, though, right? They broke away from that,
I thought
right?
some parts.
I don't know.
Like
Some
Prince
of it.
Ask
Edward Island.
Trudeau if he lets you.
Man, we're getting political.
I don't remember if it's still a dominion or not.
I'm looking it
Is
up.
Australia a dominion? Because they still.
It's part of the Kingdom of Denmark.
Canada?
So I guess in the same way
Canada?
that, like Wales
Denmark
is part
has
of
a
the UK.
king.
Yeah. Why not?
I was homeschooled.
I don't know. England always confuses me because it's the UK, but it's still like an empire, but you still England. People are still Scottish. I don't know what's going on.
That is really
And they
interesting.
got
I don't
Welsh.
understand English politics.
So Mountains
It's
of
so
Madness.
easy in America.
So Mountains of Madness. It was
Yeah.
really good. Antarctica because the Arctic
Antarctica.
is a circle.
It's an expedition in what would you say, like the 40s, 30s, 40s?
he wrote during the 30s and 40s, and I think it was a.
Well, it
current
would have been
piece.
pre-World War II, so it would
I
have
think
been
it was-
like 20s, 30s.
I think it was
probably.
a current piece. Like he was writing about the times he
Yeah.
was in.
So expedition goes down to Antarctica. They see some crazy stuff. They compare it to the Necronomicon. Pretty good, very technical read. Lots of big words. Don't think I pronounced them all right.
Is the Necronomicon made of skin?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And written in human blood.
Okay.
They tell us that in the
Who
book.
wrote it?
Is the Necronomicon real?
I believe it is real, and it was written by some Arabic man.
I have a copy at my house.
Yeah, he used his own skin. For
That
that.
does not answer my question.
He used his own skin. His
Can
foreskin.
someone find out if the Necronomicon is real or if the Necronomicon
No,
is a
it is.
fictional
It's
piece
a
of
real
literature
thing.
that was then made real?
It is a fictional grimoire
Thank you.
appearing in the stories of Lovecraft.
That's fake.
Really?
Fake
So the
news.
Necronomicon actually originated with Lovecraft. Can you find out what piece of his brought it up for the first time?
It was first mentioned in his 1924 short story, The Hound.
The Hound. Okay.
Hound.
Okay. Interesting. I would have not expected him to be the originator of that, but that is really cool. That's a nice fact. Anyway,
He was on some real shit, right?
expedition goes down to Antarctica. They're searching around.
Different
They
level.
find some stuff. Half of the crew kind of goes off, does more. Things go wrong. The other half kind of goes in search. Things get found, and they're like, "What the heck happened here?"
I think-
and then they keep looking, probably because they're white.
I think my favorite part about the thing is that it's kind of like the movie The Thing. Like the book is like the book itself is very much like The Thing. Like there's something that they bring back, and then it
Yes.
runs amok, and they're like, "Oh shoot!"
Yeah.
So it's like a shapeshifter.
No,
No, not in that sense, but in
Or
the
is it
sense
more
that,
like a psychological
something in the Antarctica is unearthed from the frozen ground, and it just starts doing what it's gonna do because it's awake again, and
then it goes home.
it's just all kinds
they
of
follow
things
it.
It just
happening.
leaves.
and then they follow it to its house.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It has a house.
yeah.
It's
and
got its city.
it's got its own civilization.
And it's just the level of detail to which Lovecraft describes the scenes that they are finding themselves in and how they're interpreting what they're seeing and the conclusions they're reaching about this ancient civilization of
Yeah.
the Elder Ones and the things that lie even beyond that they like don't even that even the Elder Ones that they're seeing don't make an effort to like be a part of is kind of crazy, and it's really good. And the story, it's like 120 something pages. It's not long,
yeah.
but it's very dense, and it's very much like I don't know where it's going from here. And then there's something else that they do, and you're like, how is he still
The
explaining
way I could
things?
think of like the way it goes is kind of like Darling in the Franxx, where it's like, oh, this is kind of like this is normal-ish. I get what's happening. I'm following, and then it's just like, like it just goes to space, and you're like, okay, all right, I'm okay with this. It's like okay.
You lost
Eric,
me.
for a little bit of context, some things you'll know about it. Something about the Elder Things, building a lost civilization. They had the help of the Shoggoths,
Yes,
and then there was
Shoggoth.
some sort of conflict between the Starspawn of Cthulhu and the Migo.
Yeah.
Okay, all those make more sense to me.
Yeah, so all of that is
Yeah.
in this book.
That is in that book.
that makes more sense.
These elder
that made more
things,
sense.
they are the originators of the Shoggoths. They basically created them as slave labor, and then
They became somewhat
stuff
sentient.
happens, and they kind of become their own thing. Honestly,
mutate.
I cannot recommend it enough. Great read, great first delve into Lovecraft. I had a
Second
great time.
recommendation.
It was
I'm the
props to Aaron.
grandfather.
Great recommendation. Great
I just like seeing
recommendation.
all the meme pictures of Cthulhu and a wife beater coming out, flexing.
Their civilization was eventually destroyed by the Shoggoths, which now prey on the enormous penguins.
Yeah, those penguins are big.
I know about them too.
They wreck people.
Yes, there's more to it than that, though. Like that's like, let me just paraphrase everything. Sure, but there's so much more than just
He's
that.
pulling
It's
it from
really
a
cool.
wiki, and
Oh,
wikis
I know.
I'm just trying to give him the context
Yeah,
of
yeah.
things that he knows about.
It's
So have you read anything
Highly
like that?
I know
Or-
lore of Lovecraft. I haven't read the books, but I know Lovecraft lore.
Okay.
how many
Yeah.
books did Lovecraft
Well,
write?
I think not only
On
that
it.
is it's
I
kind
know
of,
it's a lot.
very interesting how his lore just diverses into other forms of media. Because like him and Conan, the barbarian writer, were friends.
Yep.
So they used each other's stuff in their works, and then it just kind of like it's open source now.
Well, it's just
Let's
when
just
you're
use it.
when you're
Yeah.
pioneering a new genre,
Yeah.
everybody's going to take a lot of inspiration from you.
Absolutely.
Because Cthulhu is his creation, right?
Yeah.
So when
Yes.
people use it, do they have? Is it copyright or is it like free?
I think
use?
even if it was at this point, it's even if it was, I
pretty
think
sure it's
at
one of
this
those things-
point, it's
it-
so old that it's fair use.
It's one of those things where you can just change a tiny
Public
detail
domain.
too and use it. I mean, there's this dumb video game, Cthulhu Saves the World,
Yeah.
where they literally use Cthulhu. So
I
I'm
love
pretty
that.
sure you can just.
What was that one that
Use
Markiplier played where like Cthulhu was a girl or something?
It's an RPG.
That's amazing.
It's a good one.
It's a really good one.
I'm looking.
Okay, just still looking at how many there are.
I do want to read more of his books, Lovecraft, but I hear like some of them are very.
Racist?
Oh yeah,
It happens.
it happens.
Yeah,
It's a different
different time.
It was a very different. I hear, but I also hear that some of his books don't have like good writing too. Like he like some of them are hit or miss. With
Gotcha.
Like he's because I mean the man's going in and out of mania his whole life. He is going crazy, writing about crazy things.
Is it like
and he's like marrying his cousin.
Is it like a steady decline where you can see a declination of his work,
I don't remember how. some
or
of
is
them
it
were.
like a,
I couldn't speak to that.
or is it like
I couldn't remember if it was like his early stuff was really bad and then it just got better the more crazy.
or is it like
he
what's
went.
his? Is it like Van Gogh where they're like, here's a portrait from when he was young, and here's a portrait before
That's
he died.
Picasso, I think.
Picasso.
Yeah.
Not Van Gogh.
So it just like gets better the more crazy he gets.
Lovecraft
No, it's
has
more.
65 independent works attributed to him. Of those, At the Mountain of Madness is the 58th.
Wow, I did that
So I guess
late?
it might be good. Like I think he supposedly gets better. Like his writing becomes more
Okay. Either way.
more concise and more
Very
like
impressive.
to the point. Because like early on when you're writing, you're not gonna write amazing stories.
He wrote short stories until his 33rd work, which is a novel Fragments, Azathoth. And then his first novella was The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath.
Novella? Is that just that's just like a light novel, right?
Something like that, yeah.
It's like a small-
It's not, yeah. It's not
Because whenever I hear novellas, it's like Fabio's on the front of it and like some lady's reading it on a beach. That's when I think of novellas. But then you said that name and I was like, that's not the same thing. I don't think
those are just steamy novels.
I don't think Those
Yeah.
are smut novels. That's what my old professor used to say. He was
smut novels.
He was like, he was
know,
like,
I'll smell
he
it.
was old as dirt. He's like 70 something, and he was like a finance. Like, I'm retiring soon. I'm gonna go to Florida, and I'm gonna sip out of the pool and read trashy novels. I was like, okay, man, do you?
I thought novellas are just short novels.
What you At the Mountain of Madness is a novella.
Yeah,
so it's just
definitely.
a shorter.
Just a
book.
shorter.
It's
okay.
it's a.
That's what I thought.
Short novels are really nice. I tried to read a long novel once. Got like 30 pages in. I
What,
was like,
War and Peace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
War and
Well,
Peace is
War and
crazy.
Peace pissed
I
me
believe it.
off.
Why?
I like the reading. Don't get me wrong. I was reading it and I had a bookmark in, and the bookmark fell out, and I was like, I'm done.
So just
Get
start
a Kindle.
over.
I'm
You
done.
you can literally pick up War and Peace wherever you want to, and the
It-
plot doesn't matter.
Or get a Kindle.
It remembers where you left off.
I got a Kindle.
I'm not doing that.
It's nice, isn't it?
It is
I do
nice.
agree.
I
with you.
I'm trying to
when I
use it more,
was
but
like reading the
the
first 30
current book I'm
pages, it
reading
was
is in
very
paper,
much
so
like
I'm gonna finish
this
that
is
first
just
and then-
War and
people's
Peace is
life.
notorious
Transition
for
more.
being boring at the beginning because it sets up a time period with Russia that we're not antiquated with. So, yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
I did enjoy reading a lot of it. It had great prose.
Is Frankenstein considered a novel or a novella?
That's a novella. That's like 200.
It's not super
If that.
long. Either way, it's garbage.
I liked it.
I didn't like Frankenstein.
It was
Mary
probably-
Shelley Frank. You don't like Mary
I
Shelley
did
Frank?
not enjoy it.
I was the only one out of like all three, because me,
So
George,
we-
Kat, and our mom read it, and they all three didn't like it. And I was like, it was amazing. It was
I'm
a
not.
great
Look,
book.
I will say, my perspective is I understand why it's good and why it's iconic, but I did not personally enjoy reading it. That's
the monster,
my
though?
take. I get it.
Frankenstein
I just
or
didn't have fun
His
reading
monster.
it. I like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde though, because we had to
was
read.
alright.
We had to read both. We did.
We had to read a
It was
lot.
part of our homeschool
Ben knows it.
worldview, whatever class.
Ben
Yeah,
also
had
did
to
it.
do.
Ben,
So we
what
had
do you
to
think of
read-
it?
We had to read Frankenstein and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Mrs. Hyde.
This is Hyde. To compare them in like the worldview that
That's
they
an
were
anime.
written with, because reasons. And yeah, I did not get into Frankenstein. It was kind of interesting having now read At the Mountains of Madness, because one of the reasons why I didn't like Frankenstein was just that it felt like it took so long to get such an easy point to get across. Like I'd read a whole chapter and I'm like, cool, so he's in a shed.
And woman's taking care of
Nice. And I understand like why she goes in and describes everything the way she does. I'm like, it's really cool. And then Lovecraft does the same thing where it's like he's going into all this information and giving you all this background, and it's very, very technical, lots of words, lots of big words. And I'm like, I like this so much more, but I feel like I'm getting something out of that. You know what I mean? it just didn't land with
When was
Frankenstein for me.
written?
Like the 1800s.
Frankenstein was written in
1900s.
the 19th century,
Let's say 19th.
and it's considered a novel, 280 pages.
I mean, it's also probably just a different time because you're talking about people that aren't literate.
Wait, say that again?
When you're trying to give a book to people,
30% of the
a mass group of
population.
people that just aren't very literate.
That's fair.
Wasn't it?
and
wasn't
also
it
in a time where there's no video medium, so that was the way you described things. It had to be that
It
way.
is very-
Which we're so inundated with visual media that
Yeah, people hadn't invented the imagination yet.
made me
so.
think that the reason I have War and Peace is because I stole it from the church. Because those books you gave?
that was my
Alice
old
in
copy.
Wonderland?
I know.
It's good. Read it.
I took all of those books.
I do need to
I went
go.
into that room and I was like, I'm liberating these books. They're either going to get sold at the yard sale or nothing's going to happen to them. So I just took a bunch.
good.
And I started reading it and I was like, oh,
Did you take the manga edition of?
I read it.
Of
I read it all. I actually gave it to a friend to read.
Alice
in
in
Wonderland?
It was
Wonderland.
really good.
It was, wasn't
I
it?
loved Alice in
Yeah,
Wonderland.
Alice-
The
I
pictures
need
are
to read
really
that
good.
still.
Because it's not just Alice in Wonderland, it's also Through the Looking Glass is the second part. And the Through the Looking Glass is really short. It is. And it's really
I mean, both of them are pretty short.
It's really confusing.
But what's his name? Stephen Lewis Carroll.
Yeah.
He was a mathematician by trade.
Yeah, no,
And he also was-
And you can see all that autistic stuff in the book.
It's ridiculous.
And not only
like,
was he-
this dude wrote more books about math than he did just fiction. It's insane. He wrote like 12 math
well,
textbooks.
if I'm not mistaken, he was working as like an au pair or something like that during the time. Like he was
that
taking
was
care
kind
of
of a
children.
woman's thing.
And I think au pair just means someone who lives with people and like is a live-in nanny. And he might have been a tutor or something like that. But he was like a tutor for 2 girls, and they would
Okay.
like during their breaks he would just tell them stories, and that's how
Good for
that
him.
came about. Is that it was like random. I'm pretty sure in the book he even says it gives like a kind of like the preface of like how this happened. So like he just told him stories and then eventually wrote them down.
I mean, that sounds a lot like what C.S. Lewis did with Chronicles of Narnia, right? Wasn't that kind of how that started?
I didn't really read Chronicles of Narnia.
Gee,
I was
you
never
didn't
really
read
into
Chronicles of
Chronicles.
Narnia?
I liked Horace and His Boy a little bit, but then
I didn't like the Chronicles of Narnia books.
Really?
I just can't get into them.
They were hit or
I
miss
did.
for me.
I
Like
did enjoy them.
Horace and His Boy was good. The rest were. I don't even know if I read them all.
Horse and His Boy is like my least favorite. I just
I just like the unicorn flying and like going to this place on a mountain, getting apples and stuff. I was like,
Last
what's
battle,
happening?
man. Last battle. It is It's so
Dude, I
separate.
don't know.
Like
I was a
it
while since I
and
read it. Is that not what
Magician's
happens?
Nephew are so separate from
Maybe
the
I watched The
others.
Magician's Nephew. That's what I'm thinking of. I don't know.
The unicorn
So
is
it's
in
like
the
book
last battle.
0 technically.
Maybe it's not. I'm
because
thinking
it
of the Pegasus.
it came later.
Because there's a
but
horse
it
that flies in one.
precedes everything. It's first.
I think it's.
I think the Pegasus is in the first one.
I think you're right. It's in the Magician. I like the Magician one, the first one. Yeah. Because
Side
it was just like weird. He's like they're going in and out of reality, and then his uncle's like, "Give me the beads," and he's like, "No, I'm not giving you them."
Side question. How do they just determine how many pages are in a book? Because if they just print it with smaller type on bigger pages,
I think they just.
is there like a standard at this page size with this type
There
font?
has to
It
be.
is this many pages. Like, how do they
There has
determine that?
There has to be.
Or is it determined per book that like the original version of this book is this many pages, therefore it's this many pages?
That point, because
Okay.
you could have different copies of that same book, but given the ISBNs and given the printers and publishers,
Yeah.
that determines the page number of the edition
'Cause, I
that you
mean,
have. But there really isn't a standard that says
if you
this
just-
is what determines a book.
You think about
Yeah.
because Jeff brought up the manga version. There's a lot of art in that.
Exactly.
That's way longer than the actual book. Because
Exactly.
It's art.
Exactly.
So you can't really base it off of stuff like that necessarily. Also, what is it? Penguin Publisher?
Penguin House?
Yeah, Penguin Publishing House.
That's it.
They're nice. They do a lot of like cheap versions, like $13. That's where I got. That's Mountain of Madness, and it has usually pretty decent covers. Mountain of
I
Madness
do
has
like
really good cover.
it was really cool because I read at the Mountains of Madness, and looking at the cover, I'm like, this is nice. It's pretty minimalist. It looks really cool.
Looks
But
like
like
mountains.
you get further into the book and you start noticing like things he's describing about the mountains, and you see the cover again, and you're like, oh, I didn't even realize they put that little detail in there on the cover. It's like, just really nice touch. Just really nice touch.
Books are nice. Books are fun to read sometimes.
I really don't know what you're expecting.
You know, I was just kind of hoping that we could, like, you know, get him up here. And then maybe, he would, like, you know, surprise us or something. Don't dream too big, kids.
Tell us about Warhammer, Eric. What's
We already
going on?
talked about Warhammer a little bit last.
Tell us about
2 times ago.
30, 40K or whatever. I
I
don't
already
know.
did Warhammer.
Oh, we did?
Warhammer.
Yeah.
He's
Was I
done
here?
with War. No, Jackson was here.
You were there.
Did I
You
listen?
were there, but Jackson
was I
still-
listening?
Jackson was on the table. Jackson wasn't on the table. Sorry, Jackson was at the
Interacted
table.
with us.
But was I listening?
Yes, you were talking to us.
I don't think he did. Because at one point we
He's
devolved.
the one who looked up if magic was in the reserve. Like, he was paying attention.
Jeff
Oh,
looked
that's
that up.
Warhammer.
Sorry, burped a little bit.
You should ask Eric about those war movies instead.
War movies.
War movies. What war movies?
I just
Have you been watching war movies?
Yeah.
Like what kind of what war movies
Saving
are we
Private
talking?
Ryan?
Like Fury or
Fury.
You know what he hit me with? You know what? You know what he hit me with one day? I went. You said something about Shia LaBeouf, and I was like, he's like, yeah, his best movie. I was like, Holes, and he went, no, Fury. And I was like, Holes
Shia LaBeouf's
is
best
Holes is
I
the
have-
best movie
I'm gonna-
ever.
Wait, but what about that one Peanut Butter Falcon or whatever?
What?
You don't know? Okay, I don't even. I haven't seen Peanut Butter Falcon.
You look at everybody's face in this room and they all scrunched when you said peanut butter falcon.
Peanut Butter Falcon.
You remember that time he did like they did like a. You remember that time they did like a reading
I haven't
of
seen Peanut Butter Falcon, just
what
to be
is
clear.
it? The reading of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and he was like the main character, and he was just stoned the whole time in his truck, sweating. That was funny. No one knows about this but me. This might have been a hot dream.
I'm just
Fever
I
dream,
wanna
sorry,
find
that's
the
the right word.
synopsis.
I had a hot dream about Shia LaBeouf,
So,
guys.
let me just-
He was in a truck.
Okay,
sweating.
so they had like the whole cast of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and they were all reading the script. And they got different people. Sean Penn was there, and he wasn't reading his
I
character.
don't like Sean Penn.
He doesn't.
yeah.
He told me that already. And so he was reading Sean Penn's old character. Sean Penn was there doing something else.
don't like Sean
I think he was the director. I don't know who he was doing. Either way, he was sitting there, and it was like on a Zoom call. And Shia LaBeouf's like phone is on the corner of his truck, and he's in his truck just like violently moving around, sweating a bunch. And then when his lines come up, he just says his lines, and then goes back to like he was just high the whole time, because that's how Sean Penn's character was in that movie.
What movie again?
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Ah, I haven't seen it.
Either have I.
So the Peanut Butter Falcon. The plot follows a young man with Down syndrome who escapes from an assisted living facility and befriends a wayward fisherman on the run. As the two men form a
Wait,
rapid
is
bond,
the
a social
fisherman on the
worker
run?
attempts to track them.
Is the fisherman on the run, or is
There you
he
go.
on the run?
I think they might both be on the run.
What's the fisherman on the run?
Caught
Just
too
a
many
fisherman.
fish.
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm
he
not
could
reading
be
the plot.
legally-
I'm
he could
reading
be
the
poaching.
synopsis. It's different.
Is the game warden after him?
Probably.
Wasn't licensed.
Yes. Red right, return. That's what he did. And he kept it on the left, and they were just like, give us your boating license. You're done.
This is a shipping vessel, sir. You have fish on board.
But it's called the Peanut Butter Falcon. And
My bad.
honestly, not gonna lie, it kind of looks like one of those movies that's like Oscar bait, but I've heard it's really good. I mean,
Do they ever?
a 95%
do you think
on Rotten
it-
Tomatoes.
What's the
Oh, it's
uh,
on
what's
0.6
the,
on
what's the
IMDb.
audience?
Oh, it's on
What's the
Tubi.
audience review?
It's on Tubi, guys. If you
Don't
want to
go
watch
to
it.
No, not IMDb. I clicked the
The
wrong
real
thing.
question
I'm
here
dumb.
is:
95 tomato, 96 audience score.
Damn.
There you go.
Do they? Wait, how?
That's the
when
Peanut
was
Butter
this?
Falcon.
When was this?
2019.
2019.
This is
Oh.
not super old. Not super old at all.
This was post him wearing bag on head.
Probably, yeah, it was. Shia
that-
LaBeouf's a crazy dude. I also need to watch what's
Bag on head that says I'm not famous.
what's the movie where he's under house arrest and he's
Disturbia?
Disturbia.
Oh,
Wasn't very good.
Really?
Ant-Man 2.
Okay.
I didn't like
uh,
it.
Wasn't he in Eagle Eye?
Eagle Eye.
was
I
a
enjoyed
joke.
Eagle Eye. Eagle Eye. There's like the CIA has some kind of.
It's the one where he's
AI,
on the
and
run
it's
and
like-
somebody gives him a phone call and is giving him specific instructions like you need to do this
Well,
to survive.
and it's because
Jumper.
It's because his brother
Jumper.
was associated with it, but him and his brother were twins.
Jumper's
So
good.
like
It was a good
now that his
movie.
brother is dead, trying to stop it, like he has to take over because he's like the only one who can because it's got like some
because
genetic
the movie
stuff
starts
going
with
on.
like Well, it doesn't start, but like the first phone call's like, you got like 30 seconds and you gotta bolt this way, like.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
I feel like that happens a
fine.
few times in
It's-
different movies.
it's
No, it definitely
that happens in
does.
the Matrix, the beginning.
But that was a
that
that was
happens a
fun
lot, but
one.
it's a stressful movie. 'cause
It
it's
was.
Like,
What's
it's
the-
specific instructions.
What's
to
the
do.
one
But like the violin
that's? I feel like it's
scene going
similar
on.
to that. Is Liam Neeson on a train. There's like a bomb on the train or something like that, and like he's getting like phone calls.
Taken 4.
No.
No, so,
Taken
like,
3.
Like,
No.
It's like in Philadelphia. Like he's like commuting from like somewhere in
Is
New
it
York.
called The Commuter?
I think
Guy
it might
didn't
be.
take
I
it.
think
Take
it's
it.
the commuter, and like the whole time he's like getting phone calls. Like,
Yeah.
it's on
Yeah, I remember
2B.
that.
Yeah.
Go there, find it. And then he goes there, and then there's like a guy fighting him, and then they find the bomb's not there. He's like, it's underneath the train now. Get out there.
I actually remember this.
It was
Yeah, it's a good
it was
movie.
decent. It was decent. I mean, if you're gonna watch a movie about a train, watch Bullet Train instead. But you know, whatever.
What about the one that has
right, Chase?
Eric's gonna
I'm,
leave.
I'm trying to think of how to deviate the conversation.
What's the train movie with Chris?
Baseball.
Can we talk anything but
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable. That was a good one because it had him and Denzel.
Yes, Unstoppable. Good movie.
What
on
is
a
the
train?
Is it the movie Phone Booth? The one where it's literally a person just in a
yeah.
phone booth and some dude just sniping people on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he
What?
Can't he can't hang up the phone or what, a bomb goes off or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the dude's literally just on a roof somewhere, just shooting people on the street while this guy's in a phone booth.
That just
But
kind of sounds like
everybody's-
a man on a ledge, and it's just a dude on a
But
ledge
it's
the
just
whole
like,
time.
but it's just like the FBI and everybody show up and they're mad at him because he's in the phone booth, and because they think he's doing it.
And every time they get close,
Yeah.
they just keep getting shot.
I need to see this movie. I can't. I have not
Just
heard of that
imagine
one.
They're just mad at this guy.
That's
What's a
amazing.
good, what is it? I can't. Die Hard 2. That's a good
Which
The
one.
worst Die
Shoot,
Hard.
which one's
Is
Die
that
Hard
which-
2?
Is it Die Hard 2 or 3? The one where like the brother shows up. I think it might be 3, where the brother shows up and it's like New York, and he has to wear a sign and.
That's 3.
Yeah,
Samuel-
that's
That's
because
3.
Samuel
The best
Jackson's in it.
one.
2 is
He
the
walks
airport,
out
right?
into the street.
Yeah,
with
that
just
one's-
the
yeah, 2's the
racist
airport,
sign.
3 is- yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
I kind of liked some of the twist stuff
Two
they
was-
did in
two was
2, but
fine.
like parts of it
It
were
was
just
boring
not
in
good.
comparison to the
It was
first one.
weird because they're
Absolutely.
like military.
I can't remember. If I'm going to be honest.
That's how bad
Airport.
it was.
It was also Christmas.
That's
Wasn't it
about
also?
all I can give you. If
wasn't
you
it
don't
also?
remember anything after that, that's it.
It's also a Christmas movie, isn't it? At least it's
No.
winter. It's winter. I know that.
It is
much.
because there's snow and stuff.
But Die Hard takes
Yeah.
place on Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know.
Phone Booth stars
Christmas?
Colin
Oh.
Farrell, and it
Okay.
also has Forrest Whitaker, Katie Holmes, Kiefer Sutherland.
I know all these people, but I don't know these people.
You know what I just watched yesterday? I finally got around to watching The Gray Man on Netflix. It's got
Ryan
Netflix
Reynolds?
anymore? Okay. Well, it has Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans and Ana de Armas, among other people, and it was directed by the Russo brothers.
No way.
It was fun. It was
Right
fun.
at
It was an action movie, you know. It was just an action movie, doing their thing. Ryan Gosling
everything-
plays the same character he plays in everything.
Was everything great?
Chris
Wait.
Evans.
He doesn't play the same character in everything.
He has a very similar demeanor with all his characters
'Cause, I mean,
in most movies.
He was in Nice Guys. Nice Guys, he wasn't the same character in most movies.
No, but like the way he
He always does seem like an
plays
idiot.
characters
Yeah.
can be very.
I guess now that you say that, I
Similar
do
to each
feel
other.
like
But I love it.
He's
I
like-
love the way he
yeah.
plays a character, and as long as he's cast as the character where like that kind of
and he's hot.
yeah, absolutely, that kind of snarkiness fits, 100% okay with it. I enjoyed it, so I would recommend The Gray Man.
I thought about
a
watching
fun
it.
one.
It's been showing up a few times in my.
Chris
recommended
Evans
list.
plays a very interesting character for Chris Evans to be playing.
Chris Evans
He
doesn't
does a great
have
job
a
with it.
wide range. Like he does, but like I don't feel like he shows it that often. I feel
It's
like he can
weird.
do more.
That like watching Knives Out, which I recently rewatched, that's Chris Evans, and that's such a different character than I expected to be play. Like to the point
Captain
where I almost,
America.
No, that makes sense.
Knives Out.
But it almost feels
Either
like
that or the
how
Human
is it
Torch.
Chris
What
Evans
else do we
playing
know
this?
him in?
Knives Out.
Well, I mean, for his role in Knives Out, he still did his comedy routine that he would use as Captain America.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
But he just did that the entire movie.
yes, yeah. So I love Knives Out.
I like
I'm ready
his
for the second one,
snarkiness.
which comes out like
What?
next month
There's a
on
second-
Netflix.
How's there a second one?
It's called The
Ooh,
Glass
straight
Onion.
to
It's like a Knives Out
Netflix.
story or whatever. It's Netflix bought the rights to the next two of them. So Glass
Dead
Onion,
serious.
Netflix
Glass
next month.
Onion?
Glass Onion, that's what it's called.
I don't like onions.
Okay, well, this one's made of glass.
He doesn't just not like onions. He
hates onions. I know.
I
He-
very few things in this world, and onions are up there.
That and Bullet Train.
I don't hate Bullet Train.
He
I
hasn't
just
seen
have no
it.
interest in it.
changing the story.
Yeah, next.
Chris Evans, he was in that one where like he's like really smart, but then he doesn't
Fantastic
use his.
Four?
No,
I thought you were gonna change it away from Chris Evans.
I really.
but
and he's
okay.
really- well, I was gonna say something. And I was like thinking about because it's kind of a similar movie, but it's not the same at all. Manchester by the Sea was really good, and I just like thought about because it's like.
Chris Evans isn't in.
No, he's not in that. Casey Affleck is. But I was thinking.
What the heck?
I don't know where this is going.
The plot, the idea of like a guy getting like a niece or something or a nephew, because like in Manchester City he gets his nephew and he has to take care of him, and then Chris Evans he has like that one where he has to take care of his like sister's genius kid.
Gifted or something like
Yeah.
that. That Gifted is a good movie.
Gifted is really good. I
Gifted
feel
is
like
really good.
He was really good in that.
Manchester by the
He does
Sea
play the same
is
character.
amazing.
I saw it before you, which
Yeah,
was
you
surprising.
did.
And
You did.
And I was
it
like,
was
George,
always
you
on my
have
watch.
to watch
It
this.
was
And
always
George
on my
like-
watch list, and I never
George's
did.
like, I'm gonna watch it eventually. I'm like, George, you need to watch it
That-
like tonight
oh.
because it's amazing and it's a heart wrencher.
Yeah.
Ride Your Wave's also a heart wrencher, but I watched those like close together, and I was just on one. I was just
I
depressed.
don't watch these episodes after we
Really
record them, but I feel like this portion of this episode is gonna be very boring to watch. So I'd appreciate if you just stopped and let Eric say something.
Eric doesn't
No
want to
offense.
say anything.
I'm very tired.
Man, shut up. Just say something useful.
you
No,
wanna-
pick up your mic,
You went on
Eric.
a- You went on a bender.
Eric, pick up your mic. Say
Eric is
something.
sitting there and he's
Contribute.
thinking, I don't want to talk about these movies. I've never seen these movies. I want to die. Please
What do you,
kill me.
What if we talked about the war movie thing and we glanced right past it because we
Let's
said
go back to Fury.
and
You were at
Shia
King
LaBeouf.
Shelf right off the
And you
side.
went to Peanut Butter Falcon and all of this nonsense?
In
Man,
my
Shia
defense,
LaBeouf, not famous anymore. We're back.
Aaron took us to Shia LaBeouf.
We did just say, we said it's Shia LaBeouf's best movie, Fury, and then we went on a Shia LaBeouf bender,
Yes.
which went to Phone Booth.
All
and-
over the place.
So-
Which is not even in phone booth.
She's not.
It went to Eagle Eye, which went
Okay,
into.
Yeah.
Aaron named like 50 movies. And said Shia LaBeouf was in them, and he wasn't in any of them.
No, I didn't say he was in those. I was just naming movies because
And
they
we
were saying.
managed to not say Transformers through any of the Shia
I would
LaBeouf.
like to
yeah, he
preface-
was in that.
I would like to preface. They were saying movies I didn't know, so I would just say a movie with a similar plot and just go, no, yeah, like that.
Guys,
And it wasn't that.
guys, we're doing it again.
Sorry, hey, shut
Let
up,
him
you guys.
talk about the
You
war
need to
movies.
Stop over there.
I don't care.
No, I do.
No, I'm telling them to stop.
I do.
They're being real disrespectful.
What war
to
movies
my
have you
homie.
watched?
Saving Private Ryan and Fury.
Did you cry
That
during?
it?
Did you say
I
cry
think
during?
they're long.
They are really long.
They are.
They
They are
are
long.
very long.
Honestly, when you said that before, I thought that you were saying that ironically, like those are the war
No.
movies. I thought you meant like more old stuff. Like
No.
what's the one with the bridge that they blow up and they use like an actual train when they blow it up because they only had one shot because it was like
Is that
a
the-
legit decommissioned train.
It's like the Tears of something. It's the one where the British are fighting the Japanese in like the Malaysian forest, right?
Yeah, I think
Like
so.
the
Yeah.
60s?
Yeah.
I
It's
know
an
what you're
older
talking
one.
about.
That one's a.
But like literally, they just were like, "Hey, you guys don't need this train anymore or this bridge." Oh, bet.
So the whole-
we've got a plan.
The whole movie is literally about trying to secure this bridge so the Japanese can't use it.
Yes.
But at the end of the movie, it's literally just everybody dies and they blow up the bridge.
Yep.
Well, they had to.
Hey,
or else the Japanese
spoilers.
got
They're not ever going to watch it.
No, that's true.
it. So
No.
I think there's a few movies
I'm
with
looking
bridges
it up.
blowing up.
Look it up, please.
There's quite a few war movies about
Just
bridges.
say old war bridge movie.
There's probably like a bunch.
Seventh Dawn.
No.
No.
What is the war where eagles
The bridge on the River Kwai.
Yes, the bridge on the River Kwai. Thank you.
No.
No.
It's in the Malaysian forest. It's Japan.
Kauai.
versus-
Kauai,
So
dude.
it's a U.S.
Donde
regiment
está?
dispatched to help British soldiers try to secure a bridge from the Japanese.
Yeah, but that
It's been a while since.
it's famous for at the time
Where eagles
probably
fly.
the most expensive and largest like
Well, they blew up.
demolition stunt thing ever, and to this day I think it still is like near top of charts because they used a literal steam engine locomotive and a 100% real bridge and they just blew it up.
Not only that, but
And it was epic.
They got authentic Japanese actors and soldiers.
That's true.
And British soldiers
Yeah.
and American soldiers to all.
They
play
all
this
had
movie.
PTSD throughout the entire shooting.
Yeah,
Well,
so
it's great. It was filmed in the 50s, so it was like right after the war.
yeah, so
Got 'em.
Chase, if that's not one that you've seen yet, that's definitely one
The
of
Bridge
those
on the River Kwai
you
is
gotta
probably one
watch.
of the best old war movies out there.
Yeah, like I'm not a huge war movie buff. It's just not really where my taste leans. I'll watch them, but I don't really go out of my way to.
I got it in my mind.
Bridge on the River Kwai. Oh,
We go out of our way to watch
that's like a
them.
12 Angry Men type movie.
What is it? We always went out of our way to watch them whenever it was like Not Labor Day, Memorial Day. Because GMC would always have them.
That's true. They just
GMC would be like, we're running a marathon. Watch 70 of these movies all day. And you're like, okay.
Hey, better than
They're
Hallmark
all-
during Christmas season, man.
There were a lot of them.
There's so many.
There are.
What is it, like where eagles fly or something like that? Or where eagles dare to fly or something? It's a really good war movie, too. So, Saving Private Ryan, did you cry during it?
No, I've seen it like 5 times. Why would I cry at this point?
I had never cried watching it, but there was also a really bad recording of
Do you
it.
not love America?
I don't love America. And there was a really bad recording of it. I think that also helped because it was like really spotty, so like it kept cutting in and out.
I mean, it's from '99.
well, like no, like the way we recorded
99,
it.
98?
He watched it on DVR, and just
Yeah,
the DVR recording,
DVR
not
recording
great.
was not good. That and I was just like, It was really sad though. It was a sad movie.
It was very sad.
I didn't cry though. I'm heartless. But it was good. I liked it.
So the opening scene in
Keanu-
Saving Private Ryan
That-
at the beach of
oh.
Normandy, when Spielberg shot that, he was literally like, so you guys are just going to go out there and do things, and I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking for. I'm just going to start filming stuff, and we'll see what happens.
Chaos.
Which is why it's just so absurdly
I'm gonna
chaotic.
say, I
Because
think-
it literally, he was just shooting stuff.
That's
War
amazing.
is chaos. So it just makes sense to do something like
well,
that.
yeah.
That's-
Spielberg originally said he was gonna film it as like a like an adventure group. Like some guys were just like gonna
Yes,
town
mine-
through Germany.
And
as
the
like an
World War
adventure
II
group.
vets were like,
No, so he started interviewing war
Yeah.
vets, and he was like, "I messed up. I need to rewrite this thing."
I was saying
yeah,
that's
they
crazy.
were going to like,
I'm pretty sure that's.
have him.
I'm pretty sure that's just monuments, man. That
mean-
idea.
I mean, Spielberg had a lot of things with the movie because he had like 2 actors that were highly addicted to drugs, and he was like,
Tom Hanks and
"No, he
Matt
just-
Damon.
No,
just-
Vin Diesel is yours.
What?
Some of the various actors.
Vin
in that.
Diesel.
There was one of it was one of the sergeants or something. He was like, "If you fail any of your tests, I will refilm this entire movie and replace you."
wow,
Yeah.
Spielberg doesn't mess around.
Yeah.
No, Spielberg doesn't mess around.
How to beat his
Especially, I
addiction.
feel like even to a higher level for Saving Private Ryan, because it's one of those things where it's very much like, yo, this is a very real thing that happened, and we're trying to make a very real movie about it. Don't mess with this, you know?
On a tangent, real quick, I just thought it was funny because we were talking about Spielberg, and Scott calls Chase Spielberg,
He does.
and he calls him that. And then I was at their house one time, and his daughter went, "Oh, you mean Spielberg?" When I said something about Chase, and I was just like, "That's funny." He's drinking his coffee. Sorry, that's my
Yeah.
tangent. I just thought it was funny that they call him Spielberg.
Another one that really, I think, nails
Another
another one.
Another one.
DJ Khaled.
I watched his YouTube video of him trying to make a beat.
Bro. Did you see him strum on that like Bob Marley guitar or whatever,
Yeah.
or Jimi Hendrix guitar or whatever? And it's just like, oh.
I watched the video. I was like, "How's he like a
I've-
high class producer?"
I don't
when this beat was
understand.
laid out, like this is like the worst thing I've ever heard.
Have you've watched Hot Ones, right?
Yeah,
Have you? Because I think he did the first episode of Hot Ones. And
I
it's
don't know.
hilarious because he taps out at like the 3rd wing and just continues to go through the interview saying, "I'm a winner because I never give up." and at one point, the host, whose name escapes me at the moment,
Mr. Hot of Wing.
yeah, he's just like, "But you did give up on it." He's like, "No, I never lose." It's just like, okay, DJ Khaled. Oh my gosh.
he's done
What
a lot of weird stuff.
He's a weird dude.
Like the video where Ethan from H3H3 just like knocks on his gate. He goes like, "Yo, I'm filming a video."
What?
And DJ Khaled invites him inside, and they have like lunch. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
That like completely unannounced. Like he
Yeah.
just shows up to where he lives. Like they didn't plan this.
you
at
know
all,
Ethan
think?
from H3H3.
Yeah.
He was just going around Beverly Hills, just like, "Hey, we're just gonna go knock on some doors of some celebrities and see like who we can hang out with." And he gets to DJ Khaled, and DJ Khaled's like, "Yo, come in. I've seen some of your videos," and like, it's just a whole video of him hanging out in DJ Khaled's studio.
Like
That's lit.
that's just DJ Khaled. I don't understand. He
He's a
seems
character.
like in a way he could be like a super chill guy, but also in like the most not chill way of being a chill
He
guy.
seems like that, and then you look at like Post Malone,
yeah,
who is
who's
like
just
the chill
Dude,
person.
Post Malone just over there playing Magic the Gathering with his like $10,000 deck, and you're just like, why?
He bought an
Only
$800,000
Black
Black
Lotus.
Lotus,
Of course he did.
signed by the original artist.
Of course he did.
Only 8,000? That's pretty good. Deal.
800,000.
Oh, 800,000.
800,000.
Sorry.
8,000 would be at like.
I
a
was saying,
I
that
missed
was
the
an amazing
800 too. I thought you said 8,000. I'm like, that seems
8,000
cheap.
would
And then
be
you
like
said
a normal
sign, and I was
I
like,
was saying, no, normal buck was like
No.
30,000.
yeah.
22,000, 30,000.
That signature's expensive. That's insane.
He also had like a sword forged for him. He's just killing it.
He did
I like Post
He
Malone.
did a full concert for TCPI or TPCI,
I don't. What? TPCI?
the Pokemon Company International.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he did a full on just like he did original songs in a concert for TPCI. And it was posted on their YouTube. It was really weird because he was singing about like sex and stuff, and you just see like Lugia flying into the sky, and you're just like, this is a little weird, but like I get it.
That's always what I thought of Lugia.
Well, I was expecting Arceus, the Adam of all Pokemon, to be there for the sex
That
part.
first episode
took-
of Pokemon when Ho was
Hey,
going
look,
through the sky,
He
this
took
spoke to me.
artistic liberties, okay?
It makes sense.
He interpreted what Pokemon meant
Well,
by
he took like the
Lugia.
opening like sound bit from like Emerald, and he's just talking about like a country, like sex and stuff, and you're just like, okay, I vibe, I understand.
I get it.
But like TPCI didn't like censor any of it, so you're just like, okay, I love it. All right.
I love that
Good
so
thing you're-
much. Dude,
Pokemon rap now has a new meaning.
It wasn't so. Post Malone doesn't do rap. He does a lot of stuff.
That's
I thought
true.
he did a little rap in some songs.
I mean, he got famous because of rap, but he does.
He's
there's
crazy.
like a
He's-
video of him
he has
out
a-
recently, just like him playing an acoustic guitar and
Yeah.
singing country.
He has an amazing voice. Like his
does.
range is amazing.
I like Post Malone.
I like Post Malone a lot too.
I also like Post Malone.
So what were you saying before we got on DJ Khaled?
Yeah, so I was saying
Post Malone?
another war movie that I think really
Oh, yeah.
captures
No way.
the chaos of war very well, and is a lot more recent, is Dunkirk.
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 And
Didn't,
Christopher Nolan.
Dunkirk's hard to follow
didn't
sometimes.
Tarantino say Dunkirk is the best film movie in existence?
I did
like,
not hear
the
about
way
that.
like his cinematography and how he filmed it is the best film in existence.
I could see Tarantino saying something like that. I have
Tarantino's
not
weird.
personally heard that. Jeff, can you check that out?
Didn't Dunkirk do one of those like one take movies?
No,
No,
that's
that's
1917.
I know 1917, but didn't Dunkirk do a bit of
Dunkirk
that?
did have some long takes.
Okay.
Yes, Dunkirk
I'm pretty
had
sure the first
several.
scene is
long-
just a long take because he's running.
Because
through
he's
the
running on the
streets.
beach. Well, there's the streets. There's also a point where they're on the beach, and he like goes like far back on the beach, all the way, does some stuff, and then goes all the way up to, I think they call it the mole, but it's like the pier where the ship is. I think that might be a one take as well. Like there are some long shots.
I would say 1917 isn't a complete one take though.
You can
It's not a
see
true
the-
one take.
Because
But, like, you can
do have,
see the
they only
cuts.
they
Yeah.
only have cuts and like whenever
like-
they walk into the caves and stuff.
No,
and
like the
they-
first cut is when he falls off the bridge and then it's nighttime,
Yes.
in
and that's like an
1917?
hour in the movie.
I thought the first cut was when he entered the caves.
No, so there are hidden cuts.
I mean, there are hidden
But,
cuts,
but like the first cut you see is
the first major cut you see
Yeah.
is he falls off the bridge and then it's nighttime.
Yeah, the first.
and then
cut,
there's a
yeah.
later one where
The hidden cuts are
does he get knocked out or does he just go to sleep?
That's when he
at
gets
some
shot at
point?
the bridge.
No, that's
Or-
the only cut.
Is that the only? Okay,
Well, I
then
mean,
that's the same one.
There's
but
also
yeah.
there has to be the cut where he gets shot and then it becomes nighttime and he wakes up.
That's when he falls off the bridge.
That's when he falls off the
He
bridge.
goes up to the tower.
Yeah.
He takes out the sniper.
Yeah.
Because he opens the door and they both shoot each other.
No, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
He
cut.
shoots him in the helmet. He falls down the stairs, goes unconscious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not
that's
the
like
bridge.
that's not the
wild
bridge.
cut.
Okay,
Okay, but
I was
still,
about to say, yeah, the bridge
But,
scene,
like-
there isn't a cut.
Yeah, he crosses the bridge before.
but like,
He's crossing the bridge and he gets shot at by the guy.
but like the opening
Oh,
trench,
I thought they were talking about
the opening trench into him moving to the other battalion headquarters to giving the orders to running out in the field is
Yeah.
like all one cut.
Yeah.
that's like
yeah.
yeah.
It doesn't.
It
It doesn't.
it's insane.
It doesn't hit and cut until he goes into the underground part,
Yeah.
and then it goes. Yeah, that's a good movie.
1917 was.
Wait,
Well, it's a
That
good
was,
movie too because it's a World War One movie.
What's
World War One's great.
who directed that?
I don't remember. Can we get Jeff? Did you find out if Tarantino said that was the best movie ever invented?
He did not say that from the interviews I was reading. He said he enjoyed watching the spectacle, and after the third or fourth watching, there was some stuff that he watched that he really appreciated, but nothing about saying it was the best movie of all time or.
Well, it's not the
anything
best
like that.
movie. You said it's the best film movie.
I couldn't find that
The
in any
best
of his
way it was
interviews.
filmed
Yeah,
is
I couldn't
Dunkirk.
I couldn't
I would
find
say
that in any of his
Dunkirk
interviews.
for me was like the time skips and stuff. It wasn't bad. Sometimes it just felt a little.
What am I looking for?
confusing.
Who directed 1917?
It's
And then we're gonna
something
call it a
Mendes,
day.
isn't it?
Shawn Mendes.
I kept thinking
Shawn-
Shawn Mendes. I'm like,
No.
it's not.
He did the score
I think
for
he
it.
did
Sam Mendes.
Sam Mendes. He
basically
also
the same
did some
guy.
of the newer 007 movies too.
The newest 007 is not that good. It's okay. But it's not that good.
I actually still haven't seen the newest one.
Have you seen Skyfall?
Yeah,
Oh.
I watched
What's the
Skyfall.
newest one?
It's not Spectre. It's
Never, No Time to Die. Thank
Yeah.
you. I watched all of them in preparation for No Time to Die. Never saw it.
Not that good.
I think I watched them all except for Casino Royale.
Oh yeah, he directed Skyfall, Spectre, and Jarhead.
Really? He
I
did
heard Jarhead's
Jarhead.
really good.
I have not seen Jarhead.
Jarhead's good.
Well,
Another good war movie.
And American Beauty.
I have not seen it.
Really?
War's
I haven't seen
a
that.
disgusting thing.
Jake Gyllenhaal
War's
and
amazing.
Jarhead. I've
War
heard
is
is amazing.
disgusting. It's vile.
What? American
But
Beauty?
it's,
What?
I play Total War.
but it's what's going to happen to us no matter what. Because that's our nature.
I thought Ben played
is to
Total
fall
War.
into chaos and
Ben doesn't
destroy
play Total
ourselves.
War.
Well, hey, thank you for coming to our
was like-
podcast. This has been BakaTaka.
Oh, we
I'm
were both
Aaron.
eating sushi when we brought
In the
it
middle
up.
is Erik. And in the end is George. Thanks
Hi.
for coming. Bye.
Peace.
Oh yeah, back baby. It's storming outside, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up quickly. So thanks for watching. Bye.
We were eating sushi, and it was all three of us, and Total War came up, and I forgot that it was Erik who played it, not you. That's all. I just got confused. It happens.
just read the lore, right?
What?
Warhammer.
I played Total War Warhammer.
That's
band.
Warhammer.
And I played 40k Space Marines. And I played Battlefleet Gothic 2. And Adeptus Mechanicus.
Adeptus Mechanicus.